wish to revise and extend their remarks and include any extraneous material on the resolution under consideration?
Without objection.
Mr. Speaker, I yield myself as much time as I may consume.
The gentleman is recognized.
This resolution is weak. It's unnecessary and it's dangerous. It's also not about oversight. It's not about the Constitution. It's about tying, just like the last resolution, tying the president's hands, specifically in Venezuela. It's about telling President Trump he does not have the authority to defend the United States of America. This resolution is preemptive surrender. As written, it limits the president's ability to respond to future threats posed by Venezuela. Russia delivers nukes there, president cannot respond. Iran delivers a dirty bomb there, the president can't respond. China delivers anthrax or some other biological weapon, like they did with COVID-19, but far more deadly. President can't respond. No matter what the threat, the president cannot respond. Additionally, this resolution, to me, it doesn't make much sense because we are not in hostilities inside Venezuela. The authorized use of military force process exists in Congress, but Democrats are not writing a scope of action for the president to defend the United States of America. This resolution is a blanket statement to say to the president, you cannot defend the United States of America. No matter what the threat emanating from Venezuela, he cannot defend you, cannot defend me, cannot defend our country against it. This resolution is not stopping war. It's not stopping invasion, not stopping drug running, not stopping terrorism. It's not stopping the president. It's just stopping the president from acting decisively before Americans die. That's what it stops. Let's be clear about who we're dealing with. Venezuela is the largest and best funded cartel in the world. Nicolas Maduro, who we just saw the ranking member, Maduro had his hand around him, is not a legitimate head of state. He is a designated narco-terrorist who is poisoning Americans. All the stuff that we were just talking about in the last debate, that's Maduro. He is the head of a cartel that will abduct somebody, behead somebody, torture someone to support his political ends. Both Republican and Democrat administrations agree. Maduro is an illegitimate dictator who rules through repression, fraud, and violence. He literally uses the Venezuelan military to move cocaine into the United States. That's not theory. This is a state-run criminal enterprise. Venezuela is not a gang. It is a cartel state. It rakes in billions, moving more than 250 metric tons of Colombian cocaine through their country every year. The United States already has bipartisan sanctions on Venezuelan oil. President Trump supported them. President Biden kept them. Maduro is violating those sanctions. We just caught him doing it again. A ghost ship was intercepted smuggling Venezuelan oil, and Maduro admitted the oil was his. So here is the simple question. How do you enforce sanctions if you're not allowed to stop the shipments? The answer is that you cannot. Interdicting Venezuelan oil is the cartel, the trafficker, the one moving these ships. That's why it requires the military to do so.
This resolution reads as if Maduro wrote it himself. It gives a narco-terrorist dictator a free pass to keep trafficking drugs, funding criminal networks,
killing Americans, because it appears Democrats hate President Trump more than they can love America. President Trump has the authority and the obligation to take limited, targeted action to protect the United States of America wherever those threats emanate from. Mr. Speaker, I reserve the balance of my time.
Gentleman from Florida reserves. The gentleman from New York is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, let me just say, maybe I can teach the chairman something about diplomacy. Maybe he doesn't know anything about diplomacy. But first, let me just tell you about the picture that he tried to show of me. It was a bipartisan trip, Democrats and Republicans working together trying to make sure, it was called the Boston Group, bringing the opposition and that time the Chavistas together.
Suspend for just a moment. When a member is recognized, they cannot, until they are recognized, they cannot display any. So the gentleman is recognized.
Together. Diplomatic, trying to help the people of Venezuela. In fact, you can see how long ago that was also. I had all black hair at the time. I think I looked good. Grew gray. But I had all black hair because that was back in 2002, a new member of Congress trying to work together, diplomacy from the very beginning. And I didn't come here with prop photos because I'm here to debate substance. I'm here to find out why the President of the United States, which I could not get an answer to yet, pardoned convicted drug dealers. I could have come, if you're talking about pictures, I could have come with pictures of President Trump putting his arm around Kim Jong-un. I could have come with pictures with President Trump offering the red carpet to Vladimir Putin. I could have come with a whole lot of pictures of President Trump with Epstein. But I didn't come to play games. You're playing a game on the House floor. I came because we have serious business here. This is not a game. This is about our responsibilities as members of Congress and addressing issues that should be before this body. It's about us having debate in committee and holding the administration accountable as we do any president. It's about us being the representatives of the people that elect us. It's not a game. Diplomacy is not a game. War is not a game. There's rules in war. When people violate rules in war, they have to be held accountable. When people violate rules in our cities, they have to be held accountable. And the people who are in positions, law enforcement officers, police officers, presidents of the United States, have to be held responsible. You close your eyes on one, and our country is not the country that we have said and have been. I said earlier on the floor, during this debate, my war powers resolution to end this administration's extrajudicial strikes on boats in the Western Hemisphere, those bombs are not about drugs. If the administration did want to stop drugs, Trump would not have pardoned that former president of Honduras, Juan Orlando Hernandez, or Ross Ulbricht, who operated the Silk Road drug marketplace. He wouldn't be seizing an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela or threatening CIA operations, blockades, and strikes on Venezuela. This is no joke. This is serious. This is not about drugs. It's about regime change. It's about being honest with the people of America. That's what the chief of staff of the president just did. She didn't talk about drugs. She talked about regime change. It's Trump himself saying it. He said he wanted the oil. He said it was our oil, not Venezuelans' oil. He said it's our oil in our territory. and we're going to take it back. That's the tweet of the president. This is no joke. This is no game. This is serious business. I yield the balance of my time.
The gentleman yield, or does the gentleman
Reserve. I
reserve?
reserve the balance.
Gentleman reserves. The gentleman from New York reserves. The gentleman from Massachusetts is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I yield myself such time as I may consume.
Gentleman's recognized.
You know, I never thought I'd say this, but I'm glad I'm not on the Foreign Affairs Committee. You know, I thought the Rules Committee was tough, but listening to this debate, boy, I go to my mind. I couldn't follow the chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee. I want to correct something. I mean, this is not a Democratic resolution. It's a bipartisan resolution. Maybe that's something the chairman is not familiar with, but this is a bipartisan resolution. Democrats and Republicans have sponsored it. And, you know, in this chamber, I guess we've all become accustomed to debating trivial issues passionately and important ones not at all. We spend a lot of time renaming post offices and passing bills that do nothing for anybody. And so maybe the distinguished chairman is not used to doing big things. But I'll tell you what, the issue of war is a big deal. It's a big deal. It should be a big deal to Democrats. It should be a big deal to Republicans. It is our constitutional responsibility. And so I am here because I'm deeply troubled that the President of the United States, in my view, is slowly but surely marching us toward open hostility with Venezuela. I don't say that as a Democrat. I say it as an American who is worried about this country getting dragged into another potentially endless war. So let me be crystal clear. I mean, you know, that is what we are talking about. That is what we are talking about. This is not some hypothetical, abstract debate. Donald Trump has already engaged in acts that are considered hostile under U.S. law. He's threatened to close Venezuelan airspace. He says he plans a naval blockade against the country soon. He has warned that military strikes on Venezuela will start, quote, very soon, end quote. Our Constitution provides this body, the United States Congress, with the solitary authority to declare war. And the President, despite already engaging in hostile actions towards Venezuela, has neither requested nor received the authorization for the use of military force as required by the War Powers Resolution of 1973. Mr. Speaker, American troops take an oath to protect and defend this country. It is our duty in Congress to debate and vote before they are put into harm's way. And right now, by placing U.S. military assets off the coast of Venezuela, this administration has them in harm's way right now. And that's why, in a bipartisan way, we have introduced this resolution. It provides the House of Representatives with a simple up or down vote. It's a simple yes or no. Do you want an unauthorized war in Venezuela or not? Now, you may want a war in Venezuela. You ought to vote for it if you want it. But I do not want any war in Venezuela. And I'm joined on this resolution again by members of Congress across the political spectrum, Democrats and Republicans who, like me, are deeply troubled by the idea of endless wars, of America spending more of its treasure on wars that are not clearly defined, that we have no idea how they will end up, at a time when we can't even provide people health care in this country, where we have homeless veterans. I was here in 2002, Mr. Speaker. I voted against the war in Iraq. And Americans do not want another Iraq. If we intensify hostilities against Venezuela, we have no idea what we're walking into. I mean, the oversight in this Congress has been almost non-existent, given what's going on. Congress has been lied to repeatedly by administrations from both parties who want to use our military in ill-defined and often And don't the American people deserve that respect today? This is about whether we want to use taxpayer dollars and risk American lives on regime change, endless wars, and costly quagmires, or whether we want to invest here in our own country in solving our own problems. For God's sake, we live in a country where we, again, have homeless veterans, where we have hungry school kids, where seniors can't afford their medication and families struggle to get by. So I think it's immoral, not just a strategic failure, but a moral failure, that we have a president beating the drums of war with so much as a vote in the House of Representatives. This is not America first. And, Mr. Speaker, I know that some of my colleagues may say that war is justified, and I can't, for the life of me, figure out that logic. But I went to the classified briefing the administration organized yesterday. I've been to other classified briefings. I heard no justification that there was some imminent military threat from Venezuela, nothing that would justify the hostilities that the president is engaged in right now in building up troops. Those who want to say those who want to go to war and say that this is about drugs and cartels, let me just say that this administration's own Drug Enforcement Administration reports fentanyl is overwhelmingly produced in other countries using chemicals that come from elsewhere in the world. Venezuela isn't listed as a